And everybody comfortable? Okay. Yes. All right. Well, as we know, today begins a whole new month of Sundays here at LAC. And as with every new month, in order for me to come up with talk titles before the beginning of that month, I try to get a feel for what the month might offer us. And when it's a holiday like Valentine's Day or Easter or Independence Day, it's easy. It gives me a spiritual theme, so to speak, to focus on all month. But August, as far as I know, doesn't have an official holiday. So as I considered a spiritual focus for us this month, the song Lazy, Hazy, Crazy Days of Summer by Nat King Cole kept going around in my mind. And I mean, this is the last month of summer, and it can be for us the perfect time for us to take it easy. Not just physically, but mentally. As we affirmed in our opening statement this morning, it's good for us to feel centered and peaceful and relaxed in life's flow. And to allow our good to come easily to us. No muss, no fuss, no bother. Jeff Utter, in the book Reality is Optional, wrote, "Mood is the portal, joy is the password, ease is the access point." Many times we try so hard to get things right, to do all the things we want to do for ourselves and for others, and do it just right. We try to find a way or figure out how to make our life work in ways that feel better and flow better. But instead of our feeling better and life flowing better, when we try too hard, we often achieve just the opposite. In our effort to live a life that we enjoy living, we try to grasp what it means to vibrationally attract a life we enjoy to us. What does it mean? We try to understand how the invisible but ever-present law of attraction works, and how we can attract to us what we want and not what we don't want. But when we try too hard to live our life at all, we end up overthinking and overwhelmed. And the only thing we create for ourselves is frustration and exhaustion. Again, from Reality is Optional, overwhelm means that your brain is overbooked. You don't need more thoughts. You need room to breathe. Since it's not possible for us to wrap our head around an infinite wisdom and an infinite universe and an infinite life, when we try, all we get is a headache. I know. So in this lazy, hazy, crazy last month of summer, I invite us to make room to breathe, to let go and let our life be nice and easy, light and breezy. And with that intention in mind, the title of my talk today, as it's been mentioned, is Don't Force Your Brain to Think. A few months ago, my sister and I were talking to each other on the phone, and she said, "Don't try to force your brain to think, it's exhausting." And we both agreed that that would make a great bumper sticker. We do that a lot. We say something that's short and to the point, and we say, that would make a great bumper sticker. We've got a whole collection of bumper stickers. But we decided that including it's exhausting would be too long for a bumper sticker, and we're very practical, even if, we're not printing them. And so we settled on don't force your brain to think, which is what I settled on when I decided to make it my talk title this morning. Because including it's exhausting wouldn't fit on our LED sign. So we're leaving it out of the title, but it's important nonetheless for us to consider that forcing our brain to think is exhausting. And it's also unproductive and ineffective. Now, the first quote that came to mind for this morning's talk is from Albert Einstein. He said, "I think 99 times and find nothing. I stop thinking, swim in silence, and the truth comes to me." Well, actually, that was the second quote that came to mind. The first quote that came to mind was Curly's from the Three Stooges. If you remember, he was always saying, "I'm trying to think, but nothing happens." Einstein and Curly, both inspiring beings in their own way. And sometimes, actually more often than not, we can think 99 times and find nothing we're looking for in all of those thoughts. Or we can try to think and nothing happens, but a whole lot of noise and confusion. And we may wonder why that is. Well, often it's because our thoughts get in the way when we're on our way to new awareness and the clarity of mind that we want to find. So many times in our effort to solve a problem, we run smack dab into the barricade of thoughts that we've built over time with our beliefs. Or we trip over old thoughts that are scattered all over our mind, and then we Google for the answer and just get a whole lot more thoughts to add to the trip hazard. We mull things over, we speculate, and we ask others for their opinion. And what we keep getting are thoughts that we and others have thought before. There's nothing new under the sun. Already thought thoughts bring about what's already done. since the same thoughts, thought over and over again, can't bring about new awareness or clarity, what do? Well, we could just go eeny, meeny, miny, moe. It would work just about the same. Or we could stop chasing truth and be still and let truth come to us. Eckhart Tolle wrote, if you can interrupt your inner dialogue for even a moment, you can experience the underlying stillness, the beauty and space that is always undisturbed. The inner dialogue that feels disturbing is the one we have between the pros and cons that bounce around in our head. Well, that'd work. No, that won't work. We all know that game of bouncing balls. But the inner dialogue that brings about new awareness and clarity, that brings about a greater truth and a more beautiful, expanded view, the inner dialogue that brings about peace of mind is the one we have with our inner being, with the Spirit in us, with the spiritual being that we are. But in order for us to have that dialogue, we have to interrupt the mental game of bouncing balls, like a ping pong game, so that we can experience the underlying stillness. Now, my sister is very spiritual. And she is also completely traditional in her religious beliefs and her ideas about church. And because she loves me, she supports me and the way I do church. She's always said that I have a church of what's happening today. So when I shared with her that I was going to make one of our bumper sticker ideas my talk title this morning, she said, very slowly, interesting. And when I told her about my Einstein and Curly quotes, she was quiet. So I added quickly, and of course, I have some Bible quotes that I'm going to add. And she said there's probably one in Proverbs. And then we went on to talk about other things. But I got to tell you, there was one in Proverbs. Proverbs 3, 5, and 6 to be exact. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Seek his will in all you do, and he will show you which path to take. The will of the Lord, the will of the Christ in us, the will of our inner being is for us to feel loved and loving, for us to be happy, for us to enjoy this life fully, and to create the good and the beautiful and the holy and the joyous and the true. And that will expresses uniquely through each of us. So how do we know? when we're doing the best thing for us? How do we know when we're following the right path for us? Google can't tell us. AI can't tell us. In fact, no one can tell us what's right for us, except the one within us that wills for us in all that we do, that we feel joy in the doing. The one within us that is fully immersed now and forever in the deeper, wider wisdom of the universe. And it's there, in the underlying stillness, in the beauty, in the space within us. That one that we are is undisturbed by anything that happens in this world. That is our center. That is our peace. That is our spirit being. When we interrupt the inner dialogue of already thought thoughts, when we stop thinking and swim in the silence, when we feel the undisturbed peace of our inner being, truth comes to us and the path opens for us. No muss, no fuss, no bother. Namaste. Okay. Well, I'm so used to Grateful Jim taking off right now. Shall we have a moment to just pretend he's walking? Okay.
I'm kissing Laura on his way out.
Yes, and kissing Laura. You felt that kiss, didn't you? Okay. Well, this is the time of our service when we get to say thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for your yes, yes, yes. For being here, just showing up and being so beautiful. For your choosing to watch us live stream or later. For just allowing this to be such an important part of you, that this is what you do. And thank you for your financial support, because without it, we wouldn't be here. And without it, we wouldn't be moving on. And we wouldn't have the money to figure out how to bring our peace garden with us. But thank you, because it all depends on the beautiful lovingness of you for it to happen. And it wouldn't happen without it. And I know that I'm not speaking to anyone here. And I might not be speaking to very many people out there. But to the few of you who heard something this morning that moved something in you, and you'd like to hear more, and you'd like to feel a part of this, and you're wondering how to do that, then our beautiful treasurer, Dr. Jamie Phillips, who is always filled with interesting things to say and do financially, is here to tell you how.
Well, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Wonderful talk today. Thank you so much for that.
If you'd like to know how to donate to the Life Enrichment Center, I'm going to tell you. If you're here in the audience today, we're going to be doing an offertory. If you're watching on Facebook, you can go to facebook.com/Life Enrichment Center. Well, you're probably already there. You can hit the donate button on that site. You can donate via PayPal, and our email for PayPal is lec2512@gmail.com. You can go to our website, lecflint.com. There's a donate button on that site, and also Reverend Stephanie's podcast will be there tomorrow, or
Close enough.
close enough. And you can also send us a check to our P.O. Box, which is Life Enrichment Center, P.O. Box 321-294, Flint, Michigan, 48532. And while we do our offertory here in the sanctuary, we'll be listening to Marcia Allen sing in this very room. Thank you.